Lordy. Hey guys, this is Cam315 and the Red Wolf, and I am
This is my video now.
okay, buddy. Okay. Um, anyways, I'm here joined again by one of my friends, TheRedWolf, who has been on past videos on the channel. And yeah. So first things first, how are you, buddy?
So far, so good. I guess it's been a while since I've been in one of your videos again. I forgot. How long has it been?
Man, I don't know what to say. It's been like, geez, since My Hero Academia?
Maybe. Yeah. I think it's been that long. Well, and I'm back, everybody.
Yeah, he is back. We do plan to do more videos together depending on things, but since we can't do them in person, he can't join. We're doing him virtually because it's the safe way to handle things and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So,
especially during this times.
yeah, so hopefully everybody is staying safe, and obviously respecting their guidelines. And you better not be playing no video games, Denzel. So, yes.
I'm not. I'm not.
All right. So, anyways, we're here to talk about, shockingly, another anime that I got into. You see, in this time and age, it's like you can get into anything at this point.
Better late than never, especially in your case, because I've been getting you to watch it over and over and over up till now.
Yes. Now, this is one of the few animes this man has gotten me to watch. Shield Hero was another one of them, which when the next season comes out, I'll probably do a season one review of that at the time. But we're here not to talk about that. We're here to talk about what you obviously see in the thumbnail of the video, and that is Sword Art Online. Um, so, yes, this man requested I watch this so much that I watched it, and my trends of watching anime. I keep watching, I can't stop, and then all of a sudden something hits me emotionally, and then I get hooked on it like no tomorrow. I always do it to myself. It only does it. It feels like anime is something like that. That they just know when to get you. One Piece did it with me with the Nami stuff. Dragon Ball did it with me from just watching it. Pokemon did it for me because it's just Pokemon. My Hero Academia, well, Jump Force did that as much as I don't like Jump Force. But yeah. Anyway, we're here to talk about Sword Art Online, and we're going to do, I guess, a series review up until, I guess, I wouldn't say catch up, maybe until season 3 is over with completely. Maybe then I'll do an overview of season 3. I don't think I'm gonna do weekly episodes because that means I'll have to do like other episodes for other episodes of the season early on. So I don't know how we're gonna handle the season 3 because I know season 3 is like, isn't that split into like 2 different parts?
Uh, I think it's going up to 3 different parts now.
Okay, I think we might break it down for season 3 by different parts when I'm able to finish this. Currently, where I'm at on Sword Art Online, if you guys need to know, is I am on the second to last episode of the second season. That's the stuff if you don't know. Spoilers, you should be clicking off the video right now. You shouldn't be watching this. But spoilers, that's where.
If you haven't watched it, why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the episode where they're dealing with the Asuna and Yugi going to school storyline stuff, and then I'll be on the next episode, the final episode of season 2, and then I'll watch the movie and then jump on season 3. I think a little bit of season 3 is in English dub, but whatever. Anyways, we're here not to talk about the other seasons. We're here to talk about the first season of Sword Art Online, and that is just Sword Art Online. I don't know if I'll be talking as much about Sword Art Online as much as the next guy. Denzel is pretty equipped with this, and more than anything, this is his topic. So,
Yeah, you have no idea how many times I rewatched season 1 over and over just because I liked it that much.
so, anyways, season 1 is the start of the series, and essentially, now also I do know there's a light novel and a manga of Sword Art Online, and they're very different to the anime counterpart. We're going to be reviewing the anime version, not the light novel or the manga version, and I do know there are differences in there. Now, Sword Art Online, a brief summary. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, I heard there is a bit of a thing. I don't know if it actually exists or not, but I do hear there's something like called a chapter 16.5. Like a
I've
50.
read it. I read it just to read it.
Wait, you read it?
I read it.
OMG, 50 Shades of SA.
If you don't know what 16.5 is, we'll get later into the video about that later.
50 Shades of SAO.
Okay. Oh man, let's get to the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like any other anime we come across that gives us 24 to 25 episodes, it's split into two different parts. There's a first half of the season, and then there's a back half of the season. But it's a world created by. Go on, I forgot his name already.
Akihiko Kaiba.
Yes, by that guy, where these players virtually come into the game called Sword Art Online, and we later find out that players holding them hostage in
Yeah. Your voice is kind of breaking up. Okay, go on. Go on.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was to me, but all right. The
Mm.
Sword Art Online game, he's holding them hostage, and essentially he tells them that all the players that are in the game that they cannot log out and they have to make it to the 100th floor to essentially get out and have everybody. In the meantime, Kirito has to go through the trials and tribulations of going through each floor, trying to get to the 100th floor to get out and not only help himself get back to the real world, but amongst some few companions he meets along the way, and stuff like that. That's the first half. The second half of the season, we'll get to when we talk about the second half of the season. So anyways, my initial thoughts on Sword Art Online when I first watched it, it was pretty entertaining. It had a nice, interesting plot of a dude, a game developer, kind of tracking kids and some adults into this virtual game and essentially saying, well, it's either this, either you stay here or die. And when you die, when I was first watching this, I was like, well, that just does not intrigue me if they ever come out with a virtual reality game where you can actually put your own self in the game. Trust and believe, I would not be signing up for that if I'm just watching this anime alone.
My opinion is the same as yours, only I do find it kind of cool as well.
Yeah, my thoughts are it's pretty the first half was really good. I enjoyed it. The animation was really good. And just the characters we meet, other than Kirito. Um we see him run development of the character by the time the first half of the season ends. We see, he goes from being just a solo guy who's kind of a loner to himself, which is what we kind of get in like say other izukai series like a shield they're kind of like themselves where they just distance themselves from other people. They get put in this like world or stuff like that, and the next thing you know, they find a completely different person. Then they start the whole fact that he's a little player and he trusts nobody.
Dude, your voice is constantly cracking up on my end. Oh my god.
You sure? Because it's not cracking up on my end.
It's your voice is constantly cracking up on my end. I don't know what's going on.
Everything's fine to me.
Keep going. Ignore me, because
Yeah. It doesn't matter because the recording will just record what's footage is going on in here. If there's anything else, we can always redo the video. But anyways, he goes from being a solo player to the point, where he meets up with Asuna and then all his other friends like Klein, and then all of a sudden he starts to trust them and be much more, collaborative, becomes team with these people later on in the series.
yeah, Asuna's top tier waifu, by the way. I love her.
Yes, he sadly got the dibs first because he watched the series.
Hey, dude, that's what happens. That's what happens when you take too long to finally decide to watch it. That's what happens.
Anyways, Denzel, your thoughts? Since you are the, I guess, master of Sword Art Online.
Well, I just think the whole concept of it is really good. Like, it's really interesting. I mean, being inside a virtual world, I find it really neat. And yeah, the overall plot, I overall fell in love with the plot, especially for the first season, because it showed like the character development for Kirito, and like the whole 2 years of he spent trapped in that game, and the oh my god, I just love the relationship between Kirito and Asuna. Like,
Top 10, if that's not a top 5 anime relationship, if you've seen this anime, I don't know what that is. Honestly, right now, that actually might be my number one.
it's my it's been my number one. It's like up there. Like,
Out of any anime shippings I've watched out of all animes, I think that's honestly my number one because you can tell their loyalty
yeah.
to each other to a like huge fault.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So yeah, we talked about Kirito a bit. Like I said, he was a solo player who really, I would say only trusted himself as a loner, and that's when he met Asuna later on. Again, after they first met, and stuff like that, and they kind of grew their relationship, and you could see something going on there where you know she cared about him, he cared about her. Like it goes back to the one scene where they first met up with each other, and they just became a little mini two-man. And the whole thing where she meets with him at the tree on one floor, and they kind of he falls asleep, he kind of walks her, and and he's actually there, and we later find out that people just actually in there or something like that and mess with you. But Kirito actually, instead of just dipping and leaving like somebody probably would, he actually just stayed and watched her back essentially, which obviously meant a lot to her, um, and stuff like that. And I know we're really talking about the Kirito Asuna relationship, but let's talk about the relationship he makes with other characters. For example, the first guy he makes a relationship with, even in the first episode, line to be um,
OMG. Wait, should I
the
start talking?
the Klein Kirito relationship in the first season.
I like Klein. I like his character. He's dorky and yeah, but he's likable. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that Kirito and Klein have like a pretty like solid friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he also does come across other characters. One, the Liz, who ends up, I guess, liking Kirito until she finds out that technically Asuna's kind of the girl that has the hots for him, which was kind of heartbreaking. But they have that one episode where they work together and they have to get the one so Kirito can get that one pretty cool sword and stuff like that. What was the one girl with the little dragon?
Silica.
Silica. That episode was kind of cute too, even though I don't know why they tried to ship those two, even though Silica looks definitely way much younger than Kirito.
Technically, Silica's age is not that far off from Kirito, so honestly, it's not that much of a problem. Still,
Mm-hmm. So,
uh,
actually, one of the most heartbreaking episodes for me was episode 3 of Sword Art Online, and that was when Kirito actually joins the one party, and he was a bond, and he is he does tell him what is it, they're all over level that he's over leveled, and that's when they work together and stuff like that. And the other part, and that's when he meets Sachi and everything, and he gets to have much more of an understanding with them. And this is where he makes, like, honestly his first friend. because in the real world he kind of doesn't have that, you know. And when
Technically, technically, his first friend is Klein, if you think about it. Yeah.
he, yeah, but like I guess people he felt comfortable being around,
Hmm.
guess you could say. And then that's when we get the tragic deaths of that party, and essentially that was where the main and that's when we get the death of that party, including the emotional death of Sachi, which gives more character development for Kirito because that's how he can kind of, be more, I guess you could say more loyal to Sana. And that is kind of more to their work to that. It was really oh, wow. And then back to the one guy, he actually did himself and Kirito told him that. Well, oh, that just got dark real quick, and it was only episode 3 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, Denzel?
Yeah, that literally broke me, especially when Kirito finally got that message from Sachi, like right after she died.
You can go more in depth with that.
Yeah, like she explained how she knew she like peaked when he wasn't looking, like how strong he really is, and explained how happy she was finding that out,
Mm-hmm.
and asked him to keep on living, like and to seek the end of that world.
Were they sleeping together?
They were sleeping together, but they weren't, you know,
Yeah, I know, but I think if she still stayed alive, that would have been the girl Kirito probably would have been with.
probably.
And then who was the one guy? The one dude who ran the he was a real MVP. He was, I forgot his name. The black guy.
Say that again. My God, your voice keeps cracking up.
Oh, the one dude, the guy, the one tall black guy who runs the bar.
Oh, Egil. Egil.
Hey, Gil, I thought he was pretty.
Sure, go ahead.
I thought he was pretty cool too.
Yeah, he's the cool guy.
He even like let Kirito stay at his place.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. For some reason, Agil reminds me of the one dude from Shield Hero. The one dude who was nice, Fumi. That's who I
Mhm.
kind of like. Well, this see, those guys are pretty cool and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, who else? Who else? I'm trying to remember any other characters. Um, that's really it for the main characters. I guess we can talk about the Asuna Kirito relationship, which I guarantee Denzel's really happy to talk about. Um,
Mm, okay, like starting from episode 5, how they started out. Yeah, pretty much. Well, technically it started out from episode 2, where they first met, where they first started fighting together. I guess that's a good way to start. We get to see how badass Asuna was there for the first time, like what speed. Uh, and yeah, even though they haven't really seen each other since that episode, episode 5 is when they start to like develop character. Like episode 5, they didn't really get along that well. Let's be real.
yeah,
Even Egil, the guy you just mentioned, like he pointed like, hey, what's with you guys? You and the second in command are always getting into it, and not in a good way. Oh my God. Oh my God. And
Go ahead.
mhm. And later on that episode, Asuna catches Kirito sleeping on a hill. Do you remember that moment? Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the video, but yeah.
And Asuna was like mad that Kirito isn't like taking this seriously. but Kirito's like explained to her a bit, like even in a world like that, you can still live on like normal lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, she decided to take a nap too, and I was like, oh, I just think Osuna is so cute that way. uh,
We also do get introduced to, I guess, her bodyguard, which we later find out is a part of I guess you can say, an evil guild. The other antagonist called Laughing Coughing, which essentially is a bunch of dudes who just are first degree murderers. They just kill players to kill players. And that's when we get on episode 10, I believe, when what is it? Austin actually wants to kind of like join Kirito like full time and be together with him, because this is the point when Austin like invites him to their house just to eat because Kirito got like a rare item or a rare food item. And this is when we kind of see the relationship of their seed spread. So on like the it was called. Um, and essentially, we find out how himself. Um, actually, and his to join the whole guild because he lost. We want, to join for free, and stuff like that.
what the hell? I couldn't even understand the thing you were saying. Oh my god, what is wrong with my phone right now?
You sure you got good internet connection? Because I'm sure I got good internet connection. I can hear myself just fine.
Can we probably pause the video for now? I need to check something.
All right, we're pausing the video, guys, for a second. Just a quick up. Sorry, guys, for that. I guess on Denzel's end, he can barely hear me, but it seems like on my end, you're just fine. This is according to mine, so probably we won't get no. But you watch again just to see if I hear what he's talking about. Maybe we'll redo the video, but obviously things are fine for me. But what I was saying, obviously, now Kirito he's in the guild, and he's kind of in the guild now, so obviously, like, and Kirito was perfectly fine with it. So, and that's when we get the episode where he kills one dude, and then Asuna's bodyguard. First part of Asuna's bodyguard is and he kills one guy, and he actually kills Kirito. If it wasn't for Asuna, and luckily Kirito came close to dying, but Asuna saved him. And then it looked like it was the point where Asuna was going to die, and then Kirito kills the guy. And here's an emotional moment. And that's when things get crazy. My thoughts on the scene was, one, I was like, wow, I'm shocked that they showed the kiss. Because in most anime, they don't show the characters kissing. They just show and then just but it was a very cool scene. That's what I think of this show. So Denzel, your thoughts on that whole turn of events with that stuff?
I mean, when I first watched it, I was like, I am so glad I am so glad I found this anime. Because like you said, there are quite a lot of animes where like they don't even show the kiss.
Yes, thank you, Pokemon.
Thank you, Dragon Ball.
Well, Dragon Ball did show a kiss. They haven't shown a lip-to-lip kiss. Well, they have shown a lip-to-lip kiss. Trunks and
That's why I'm disappointed. That's why I'm disappointed. They didn't show it.
They did show the Trunks and my kiss.
Would that really be considered a kiss though, if it was just mouth-to-mouth thing?
Trust and believe. They have all these dang animes thinking that CPR is an actual kiss. Just look at Kaguya and Jalal from the final season of Fairy Tail.
Okay, that I can. It's Kagura.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's when they first. That's when they kiss. That's when it's like these two characters are in love, love. Uh, so they go back to the house because Kirito's like, "Yo, could I like chillax at your house for a bit?" And what I love in this scene was the fact that during the dinner, she was kind of taunting her. Well, no, that wasn't the first time he went over to the house. He was taunting her, but it was funny. Oh, what's going on here? She's obviously in her garments, and this man Kirito, bro. If you thought an anime protagonist was so dense to see that a girl actually has feelings for somebody, my man Kirito was so dense to just look at Asuna right there and be like, "What are you doing?" And Asuna's like, "Well, what do you think you're doing? Get over here, dummy." And you know, it takes him a while to finally catch on that she wants the D. But yeah. Now as I was talking about chapter 16.5, which we'll get into a few minutes. So anyways, just your thoughts on
I,
that part of the show.
I have not read it. I have not read it yet, by the way.
Oh,
I don't.
trust me, I've read it. I didn't read it. How could I say? I skimmed over it, and it was an interesting read to say the least.
I'll say.
So, anyways, one of the parts that they do talk about is the fact that after their little thing they do, um, they're just chilling, just talking to each other, and they talk about how the fact that you can actually get married in game, but the only thing is you obviously combine your items, and then that's when we see the relationship kind of develop, and shockingly enough, Kirito would kind of ask her to marry him in game. And
Mhm.
to this, they go obviously to the floor 22, and they have a nice time. And that's when we get introduced to another cute little character.
Yui-chan.
You can talk about this part.
Oh yeah, like it starts out with us not wanting to have fun, wanting to go out and have fun and stuff. And okay, they're going to the lake. Asuna wants to ride on his shoulders.
No, team.
He has some nice legs, I must say. Oh yeah, so yeah, they walk. Kirito's embarrassed, obviously. He starts running to the forest, and that's when Kirito tells his little ghost story to Asuna. Because I know Asuna really well. I know her to the point she actually has a phobia of ghosts, so she gets scared easily whenever she hears a ghost story. And that's when she catches a glimpse of something white while he's talking, and and she's like, I want to get down, I want to get down, I want to get down. Yeah, and that's when she sees a certain little girl walking in the forest. And Kirito's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he sees it first himself, and that's he's like, "You gotta be kidding!" For a second there, he thought that was an actual ghost until he saw her fall,
Hmm.
and he threw there, and he noticed something strange about her, and noticed that she doesn't have a cursor like any other players, and they decided to take her in until she wakes up.
Yeah. We later come to find out her name is Yui and she doesn't have no family members, and we later find out it's because she's an NPC. She's just a character just in the game, just chillaxing. That was in the game's files now. If you don't know if you guys were paying attention in the back screen, but the reason why we didn't get to 16.5 is because my dad was in the room and I didn't want to talk about that. Going back to that part real quick, like I said, the thing is, in the anime, it's implied that Kirito and Asuna they did the dirty deeds. They had the birds and the bees. Now I get from what I heard is chapter 16.5 of the light novel is just kind of it's just kind of like the author doing a fan made thing. That's not like officially official or anything. It's just something the author of Short Online did for the light novel, and he kind of goes into really various details on how Asuna and Kirito experienced having the birds and the bees for the first time. And let's just say some of the wording in that was something I'm not allowed to say. Heck, there was like a top 10 Mojo video where Todd Habercorn was featured in it, and he actually said one of the lines from that chapter out loud. And he's like, at the end of it, he's like, and that's how I lose my job. So yeah, if you want to go see what that read is about, just go. You can just Google Sword Art Online chapter 16.5, and you can read in detail how Kirito and Asuna did their dirty deeds. It's not official or anything. Even I heard it's like not canon. It's just a fan made thing the author did because hey, he wants to do fan servicey things. I respect him for that. I respect him for that because usually when they give us fan service, these other characters don't go full through and don't
Mm-hmm.
really happen in that moment. But then again, at the same time, you can look at the anime that it's implied they did because Asuna was actually covering herself in the bed, and you can see that she was wearing nothing on clearly. But you know, it's implied that they definitely did it. So, anyways, like I said, going back, they actually go back. Asuna and Kirito actually go back to the first floor to see if they can look for Yui's parents. But like I said, they get caught in this dungeon trying to help people, and we find out Yui's little sad sacrifice. The fact that she has to go because like I forgot what was the reason why she was being deleted, or I guess.
Cause she interfered with the Cardinals thing,
Oh
something
yeah.
with that programs, and yeah, pretty much that it.
Now, Kirito came in the clutch and he was actually able to save a frozen tear of Yui, which will kind of play on into the later half.
That's Yui's heart. Yui's heart.
Yep. So it was really emotional because it's like Kirito and Asuna had their actual had like a legit family. Like they were married.
Mm-hmm.
They considered Yui to be like their own daughter. Even Yui was calling Kirito and Asuna mommy and daddy, which was just adorable. It was adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is kind of when we get the last few episodes of the first half of the season, and that's the fact where the Blood Knights actually call Kirito and Asuna back to join them for this quest to get past this dungeon because they actually like for some reason, well, it's funny how they never even asked them what they were exactly doing. Like they took like I think they said in the episodes like it was 2 weeks since they left, and it's like as the leader, wouldn't you be like, you said you just needed a vacation. I'm thinking this is gonna be a week, not an extended 2 weeks. Which I found hilarious that nobody asked them, like, what were you guys actually doing?
I think it's best they don't know.
Yeah. And then I also think it's implied too that other characters in their guild did not know that they were married. I think only a few characters, well, after Sword Art Online, the base Sword Art Online is over with, some people know that they were definitely obviously a theme in the game. But
Mm-hmm.
I did find it interesting how the guild did not know anything or they didn't decide to tell anybody, which I guess is understandable. You want to keep that confidential. It's a private thing. So yeah, so they do this whole dungeon thing. And after they beat the boss, which Kirito legit almost dies,
Almost. Yeah.
and stuff like that. Which almost freaking crushes Asuna. We later find out that the whole leader, the whole first command guy of the Blood Knights, yeah, guess what? He was Kaiba. And that's when Kirito fights him to essentially save everybody right then and there. And you can talk
Yeah.
about this fight, Denzel.
Yeah. That's when Kirito has to like I don't know, not use any of the game skills and start like I don't know, just swinging the sword around normally. Like yeah, cause he knows that if he uses sword skills, Kaiba would just be able to predict it because he's the one who created it. So that's his challenge. But then Kato kind of panicked after he got slashed on the cheek, and he use the, I guess that was Starburst stream.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one of his swords broke when he tried to pierce through his shield.
And I think
And
one that Liz made him.
yeah, that's when Kaiba was about to slash right through him. But then that's when I almost broke down. That's when Asuna went right in front of him and took the attack.
And she kind of sacrificed her life so Kirito could live on.
Yeah, that's when she says, "I'm sorry, goodbye." And
That was my reaction. That was my reaction. Then I think that does get Kirito kind of upset, and he actually does end up beating Kaiba. And
yeah,
he does end up saving, everybody. And we get to this whole thing about where we see Kaiba, and then, Kirito's transported to this one thing where it's just looking over the overview of Sword Art Online as players are disappearing and going back to the real world. What is it? He actually sees Austin. I'm like, whoa, 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 what the hell is going on here? I thought she died. Then later come to find out she didn't exactly die. Well, I don't even know how to explain that. Oh, she's
I you
still.
know oh, as for how either of those two, Kirito and Asuna, are still alive is beyond me. So
Yeah, that was the one thing I don't. I'm like, she died and she's still. Don't ask me. If you guys know how Asuna was still alive in that moment, um,
well,
in the comment section.
I would have to say the beginning of the second half. I would have to say it has something to do with that Sugo.
Yeah, it might, but then again, I don't know. They don't do a good job. Like I said, if you guys know, please put that in the comment section and help us out because I don't know how she's still alive. She technically should be dead. But okay. So, anyways, we see Kaiba talking to them too, and they were like, he's talking about the reason, kind of why he did the game and stuff like that. And he kind of just dips. We later find out like he ended up like disappearing, and then I think they said he killed himself or something over it. Um, which I guess I don't blame him. It's either you probably go to jail for life because technically that you're you killed innocent kids most part. So I guess he thought it's either jail, for life, or I just take my life. And I guess he took the suicide route. Don't suicide, guys.
Never suicide, guys.
So yeah, and then Kirito and Asuna have one last kiss when we all think that they're gonna see each other again in the real world for the first time. And this is when we get the second half of the season. At the end of the first, at the end of the first half of the season, we see a weekly Kazuto Kiragaira, which is his real name.
PD Gaia.
Whatever, I'm just gonna call him Kirito. And he's just walking, looked like a dang near zombie with his plasma, everything, just walking all week after waking up and stuff like that. And this is when we get to the second half of the season.
All he had in his mind at that moment was awesome.
Oh yes, of course, because he wanted to see his girlfriend. Because quote unquote happy point, he loves her. Um. Anyways, this is where we get into the second half of the season, which this actually takes, if you guys don't know, 2 years after, well, it's been 2 years since Kirito has woke up in the real world. So this takes place essentially, in another world. And this is where, now, it was cool, but the first part of this arc was kind of slow.
Mm. Yeah, I can see why you would think that.
But essentially, the whole plot of the second half of the arc is essentially we meet Kirito realizes that Asuna is still technically in the virtual world, but trapped thanks to Agil getting an in-game photo from some people who actually took a picture of her looking up into the world tree, and there was this image that looked awfully similar to Asuna. So we later find out that due to this one evil bastard and I don't mean that wholeheartedly. Um, we find out that technically Sugo is keeping her in game in the whole virtual world, so he can kind of just forcibly kind of marry her, and
Hmm.
he thinks Kirito can't do anything. So this time, Kirito, along with a new character named Leafa,
Leaf,
huh?
leaf.
Leafa. Sorry, buddy. It's not my fault.
But
Um,
I thought that would be easy to remember. Okay, go on.
he has to team up with her to essentially go up the world tree and to save Asuna from, I don't know, being forcibly married to this 40-year-old man or whatever, how old this guy is. I don't know.
No, he's not much older than Kirito from what I can tell.
I thought he was like much older than this guy, than Kirito and Asuna. Like he was like in his 30s or something. He looked like a guy in his 30s,
At best, he's in his 20s. At best.
probably late 20s, but it was really weird and really nasty the way he thought. Because especially in that hospital scene where he was telling Kirito the things he would do to her.
That will be later on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of thing. Now, I'm just gonna say this: the second half is something you should not let kids watch at all. It's that one episode when it's Sugo versus Kirito. Do not show that to your kids.
Don't mention that fight yet. I'm gonna be expressing my hatred towards this guy later.
So, anyways, we also get introduced to a real, life in-game counterpart who is the sister of Kirito, which we later find out is the cousin of Kirito, and that is Sugaha.
Sugoha. Yeah.
So, how Kirito calls her nickname for short, Sugu. I'm gonna probably say Sugu for short because it's easier to say than Suguha.
Yeah, it's easy. Say whatever you like. As
So,
long as yeah.
Sugu is, like I said, the brother slash. We later find out later is the cousin of Kirito, and Kirito lives with her and her family because his mom, like, didn't his mom die or something?
No, she's still alive. She's still
Oh,
alive.
okay. Because he was obviously trapped and stuff like that. And obviously Sugu was worried about him. And when, she finally, and we later find out that, Kirito kind of distanced himself from Sugu, and
Yeah.
didn't really talk to her as much.
Yeah, because he found out he wasn't really part. He wasn't really like I don't know.
That wasn't really, Sugu wasn't really his sister.
Hmm.
It's something like that. It was confusing. It was a confusing thing when they explained the whole thing. Even I'm still confused to this day. Um, but we, you know, when he first comes back, he actually starts to interact with Suga more because after Sword Online, he sees that he wants to treasure, spending time with people who are his family and friends much more and stuff like this. And this is when we get the whole you know angle that I do not like.
Yeah, I'm also questioning that. Mm.
And if you guys don't know, they actively, have Sugu have, not only feelings like legit, like I'm in love with you vibes for Kazuto. And that's when I was like, okay, Sugu is fine enough with me being with anybody else, falling for somebody else, but don't do it with a family member. I do not want to go the I angle.
I'm telling you that these characters and these creators of SAO are kind of unpredictable when it comes to these things.
Now, apparently, from what I heard, apparently in the Japanese culture, in terms of Japan, you're fine to totally hook up with your cousins or something like that, which I
Yeah,
find
I heard.
to be disgusting. But hey, that's Japan standards. They're different from our standards. In American standards to us, that's the I word. Japan, they don't see it like that. So, that's
Hmm.
probably something they took from Japan. Um, you know, I I'm not going to talk anymore about it because anything. Anyways, we later find out. that Sugu is actually Lifa, and the two Kirito who actually goes into this new game called Alfheim. Am I right?
Yeah, Elfheim Online.
Which is a new Sword Art Online thing, but this time instead of just regular medieval sword characters, the difference is you take out the medieval part, you put fairies in them with swords and magic, and that's kind
Hmm.
of So Kirito actually goes in there because what is it? He wants to go in there to actually save Asuna and stop Sugo from preventing this. Because Sugo tells him like, "Oh yeah, in like a week's time, I'm going to marry her, and there's nothing you can do about it." Evil plot guy. Um, so Agil actually gives him a copy of the game, and he connects. He gets into the game. He meets Lifa, saves her from uh what was the red guy's name again?
Sugo, Sugo, Sugo.
No, the guy when he first runs into Lifa.
Kagemune. Uh, that one guy that he fights first.
Yeah, the one guy he fights first in that one little guild.
Kagemune.
Yeah, and then another thing is we find out when Kirito actually is looking through his storage, um, he actually finds something that was a former character we see, and he actually brings back Yui into this world, which was so
That,
happy. You know,
funny, funny how you bring out the fight first when Yui's resurrection came first.
oh, I know, right? I know. Like I said, he ends up saving Lifa because Lifa and her friend, I forgot her friend's name, was kind of getting attacked.
Recon.
Oh yeah, by by this guild, and
It's actually called a race of fairies. So
yeah, a race of fairies, and yeah. So apparently, the funny thing is, we find out that Lifa, her race is essentially rivals of Kirito's race, which we find out Kirito became a Spriggan, um, which I don't know if Fairy Tale came out after this or before this, but Spriggan, that reminds me of some character called the Spriggan 12. Um,
hmm yeah, well, obviously Sao came before that event ever happened.
yeah, but you know, they kind of team up together. Reluctantly, Lifa does agree. They later come to be friends and stuff like that until Kirito asks the reason. Well, until Lifa asks the reason why he's here doing what he's trying to do. Now, back in the real world, Sugu and Kirito do not know that they're talking to their in-game personalities as each other, which I may be nitpicky, but I'm just gonna say I don't like that because it makes no sense. It's like because they show one scene in the show where where Sugu hooks off on offline, goes offline for a bit. She knocks on Kirito's door. He's not answering. You would think she would go in and be like, "Hey, I got some food out here for you," but no. She goes back to she thinks back to a memory where Kirito kind of cried in her arms over the Asuna stuff because he was broken about that stuff.
Mhm.
And I guess she felt like she didn't want to disturb him, which I don't know why. Any person would probably want to ask if you're okay. And especially if they're not responding and they're in the house, you would think something's okay with them. So that's my nitpick that they should have possibly known each other quicker rather than later. But then again, when they found out later, it was really emotional. Uh,
Mhm.
but like I was saying, Sugu or Kirito actually takes Sugu to the hospital where Asuna is staying at, and that's when Sugu kind of is just like, I can't take it no more. Obviously she's in love with her cousin, and she can't get over the fact that Kirito loves another girl other than her. And then when she finds out in game, when Kirito says like, "I'm just here to save a girl by the name of Asuna," that's when she puts two and two together, and she's like, "Kazuto?"
Sugu? Sugua?
And then that's when she just logs out. She is heated at him, which I don't know why. But okay,
Because
Denzel, you can explain this part.
I guess she's mostly here due to the fact that he avoided her back then, and just due to the reason why he knew that she wasn't actually his sister, and yeah, like she explained like I don't know like honestly it's kind of hard for me to explain as well because
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but in a just way, she's kind of professing her love to Kirito. The fact that, I really, really, really loved you, and you want to keep going for this other girl. And it's kind of stuck up on Sugu's part because, like, I can understand that you love this guy, even as disgusting as it is. Um, but listen, you gotta understand this. Your cousin loves is in love with somebody else, and she later does accept the fact that he's in love with Asuna, and she's willing to sacrifice that and stuff like that. And then that's when we get this really awesome scene because even earlier, Kirito and Lifa actually help um, they're well, they help Lifa's race of fairies from being attacked by this other race of fairies. We later found out this one race of fairies in Lifa's group is actually like some kind of traitor
mhm.
and stuff.
Why did we talk about Sugo's breakdown before this battle? Because the battle came before. Cameron.
We're kind of cutting ahead. That wasn't really kind of important to the part, but okay. Um, so, anyways, we get this epic thing where Kirito actually tries to take on the World Tree by himself, and
That's kind
he
of cool.
literally dies in the process.
Hmm.
And if it wasn't for Sugu coming in the clutch and assisting him, and even her race of fairies, along with another race of these cat fairy people coming to help, they actually help, you know, Kirito get all the way to the top. Now, when we seen Asuna do her thing, which Denzel, I know you have various opinions on why you hate her being the damsel of distress in this arc.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Yes, I hate her being the damsel in distress, but I also like how strong she's been being the entire time. Like she when Sugo, aka King Oberon, was actually like slightly touching her inappropriately. She tried to I don't know just stay strong like yeah to a certain point. And so yeah, and I also like that she at least tried to escape on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Even though
and she found out more secrets about what Sugo was doing.
you can talk about that.
Yeah, like she walked into a room full with I don't know like people's brains, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and she pretty much found out like she's that Sugo was pretty much like controlling what they're thinking or what they're feeling and stuff, or like
Well, he can. He told her like he can just with a snap of his finger, essentially just make them do whatever he says.
mm-hmm,
And yeah, that's when we get the thing. That's stuff like that. And that's how he's able. And he even says like I can be able to make you forget memories like that and stuff like that. Now, when she was doing her whole escape thing and the whole thing, she could have logged out so easily like that. But of course, because of plot, she doesn't hit the button so fast enough to log out. If that was me, I would have hit the button faster than you think I could have hit it, and I would have gotten out of
and, and that's when things start to get still a little inappropriate because those tentacle things.
there. Yeah, they were very. Man, all I gotta say is if you like a lot of hentai, this was probably the arc for you. Um, Tentacle touching and Sugo grabbing and touching her in places in the cage that she kind of did not want to be touched in. So yeah. Now, earlier she actually realizes that Kirito is actually like there to save her because she hears Yui's voice, and she actually has this key card. Thank goodness she has the key card because otherwise Kirito would have never got in there to begin with. Because
Yeah. Oh my god.
we
Cause yeah, that moment.
We
Yeah, when
later,
he went right through there.
we later find out the key card is the only reason how they can get into the inner part of the world tree, because if he didn't have that, they never, Asuna's not being saved. She ends up getting forcibly married to this guy, albeit it's just her dad saying she has to forcibly marry her. And without her consent, the dad actually is like, yeah, this guy's going to marry her, regardless of what she has anything to say with, which is a funny coincidence because I'm watching season 2, which is kind of the same thing with the mom. Um, and essentially, Kirito and Yui, because they're on their own, they get into the game, they get into the world tree, and they eventually find Asuna. And then that's when Sugo comes in here, and we get the Sugo versus Kirito fight. With,
Not much of a fight.
well, not much of a fight, but this is where we get the, I guess you could say, torture. I guess you could say R scene. I'm not going to say the full word because YouTube. But the you know what I mean scene if you've seen this scene, and this is when everybody hated Sugo as a character. Now, apparently, I heard there's a lot of people that do not like
I
whatsoever.
hated him to begin with.
Hmm?
I hated him to begin with. Ever since he first walked into that hospital. But this just sealed it. Like, Kirito, kill him. Like, right there. Like, please, just kill him already.
Now, I've heard not a lot of people are fans of this, especially particularly this scene because the scene is pretty offensive. I can understand why it was pretty offensive. Like the dude was legit stripping her down by like piece by piece. He was like touching up all on her, licking her, which was disgusting. The point, if it wasn't for Kirito, he would have probably actually did something really bad. And I mean, really bad. You can watch that scene when he gets behind her.
Remember what he said about what he was like, how he stabbed Kirito and like how he said the pain absorber and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That yeah, if it goes under a certain level, it will start affecting your body in the real world. Now that is something scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Kirito, with just thinking about how far he's come to, he managed to get out of the sword lock and
After like he somehow got in contact with Kayaba's spirit, I guess.
yeah, and he's all of a sudden he's able to access essentially the files of the game. And he essentially does that to kill, well, Sugo's character. He saves Asuna. He brings her out of her little log out trance thing. She logs her out. He gets out himself. You know, now one, Sugu tells him like you need to go to the hospital like right now. It would have now. And then that's when we get the real life Kirito versus Sugo battle where Sugo literally could have killed him right then and there. Kirito was this close to dying in real life because he was about to get stabbed with a knife. But I think because his eye was all messed up or something. I don't know what was it with his eye.
Yeah. After he logged out, but remember that one stab scene that Kirito gave him?
Oh, he stabbed him in the eye and it affected.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed him because the thing, and thanks to I guess Kirito's martial arts skills, he was able to stop Sugu, have the knife up to his throat. I literally thought Kirito was gonna slit his throat, and honestly, if he did, I wouldn't have cared. Now, the reason why he didn't do that is because he probably would have been charged for murder for doing that, even though he was kind of defending himself. But then again, it would have not made him much more of a better person.
Yeah.
Now, the whole thing about him killing people, that's later brought up in season 2. It would have been interesting if you say did kill him, especially with what you see later on in season 2. But he ends up sparing his life. He just calls the cops, which is the smart thing to do. Now, should have Sugu went with him? Possibly she should have went with him because it would have been 2-on-1. But then again, at the same time, Sugu would have been put in more danger, if anything.
Yeah,
And
and would also put herself in danger too.
mhm. So then after that's it, he runs up to the hospital, the room where Asana's at, which again I have another nitpick of this. First things first, why were there no other medical officials in this hospital? Is this hospital run 24/7 or is it run only throughout the day? Because I find it so stupid that the hospital is just it's just and Kirito walks in, there's nobody there. No desk attendant, no nothing. It's just pitch black. Like he
You
cut.
know, if there was a hospital attendant, they wouldn't have had their moment.
And
Just just
like I
just
said,
FYI.
you can call that a nitpick, but that makes no sense. And I was like, wait, where's the hospital people? They should be seeing this.
Like I said, if there were hospital people around, I don't think Kirito and Asuna would have their moment like they did. So
Yeah.
regardless of what you think, I think I prefer it this way.
So, anyways, Kirito ends up seeing Asuna, and they have their emotional reunite in the real world, and they have another justice for the kiss. That I kid you not. The first kiss was great. But this kiss was just like they finally found each other again. It's it was beautiful.
Right?
No, don't explain me to the fact that and I know I'm talking a little bit about season two, but don't explain me to the fact that the mom is trying to make Asuna's own decisions, even though the parents know that Asuna really likes Kirito, and kind of Kirito saved your daughter's freaking life. Um,
Yep.
so for the mom to call him not worthy of Asuna, I don't know what to say to that. But that's season two. We'll talk about that in season two review later. Um, but yeah, that's when they kind of. And I think the last episode of the season, the last few episodes, is just you know them going to school in real life, which is set up for the SAO people who were gone for the 2 years. And then I think the last episode is when everybody we met up to this point in the series is just their own party. So that's Kirito, Klein, Lifa, Asuna, Agil. Well, Agil kind of comes back time to time. Um,
Agil.
Agil, Liz, and crap,
Silica.
Silica, and her dragon returns too.
Mhm.
Her cute little dragon returns too. And then also Yui's with them as a fairy. Also, Yui can. One thing is, I can understand why Yui stays in her little small fairy form, but she could definitely go more back into her full-grown self, I guess you can say. But
Yeah, yeah. I think she's cuter in her normal child form.
so yeah, and then that's where Sword Art Online season one ends, and yeah, honestly, they could have just ended that right then and there, and no more Sword Art Online, and that would have been the perfect ending. It's like one of those animes where it's like you could have had the perfect ending. There's nothing else to do.
Hmm. I guess, but I feel like the ending could have been better. So that's why.
Well, how would you have done the ending to season one?
Mm, good question. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where season one ends. I guess we can talk a little bit about the Sword Art Online special. Essentially, that was just an overview or a recap of the entirety of season one with a few new scenes of what they're currently doing in the new Alfheim. That's kind of it. It was just like Yui wanted to see some giant whale in the game. And then, like I said, a recap of season one with this one government official guy Kirito meets on, you know, in that special and later on in season two. Um,
Yeah, even up to this point, I still have no idea what exactly will how things will end with this guy because
all I can say is for the government official guy, I do not trust the guy at all. I feel like it's just a setup that he's been using Kirito this entire time, and then somehow if they, I guess, If they want to make, I guess, I don't know. I haven't watched the third season, but if they somehow want to make that guy like the final bad guy in season 3, go ahead. That would be a twist. Not well. Some people might see coming, some people might not. But who knows? Maybe they want to do a SAO season 4. Like I said, I still don't trust that government official guy. But in season 2, I guess you can say the government official guy has more of my trust because he's actually looking out for characters. So yeah, but that's really what the special was about. Nothing special. Like I said, it was just a recap, and then just I guess you could say what would be like the eclipse of a 1 hour filler episode. That's essentially what the special is, or the
Mhm.
OVA, and that's really it. So in terms of season 1 of SAO, thumbs up for me, and it's a 8 out of 10. You know,
Yeah, yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 as well.
there was some things here and there that were kind of nitpicky and bad. Apparently, from also what I also heard is not a lot of people are fans of the first season for some reason. I think because it doesn't follow the light novel mostly. But then again, that's with any anime. People who read the manga and then they watch the anime, they end up hating it. Look at One Piece. There's manga readers that hate the One Piece anime because it goes in a different direction and stuff like that than the anime, even though it's the exact same thing. It's just longer because
Mhm.
it's filler and it's more drawn out. And yes, is One Piece as an anime drawn out a lot? Yes, it is. Does it suck? Yes, but I don't know why manga fans hate that. But that's like I said, with the thing with any anime you come across. You always have your manga guys who say the manga is much more better than the anime, which I don't know. I'm like, okay, you're entitled to your own opinion. You don't need to mock the anime because it's not as good as the manga or the light novels. There are going to be differences. You think the animation company making these anime is going to read the manga word for word and be like, we need to put that in there, that in there, that in there. No, they're not going to do that. They probably want to do their own thing to make it more entertaining. And plus, if that's the case, keep reading the manga. You're entitled to. You don't have to watch the anime. I just hate the fact that there's manga readers that actively rip on animes for the respective series that they read, and they're like, "Oh, it sucks." Okay, well, you
Yeah, yeah, I guess people just legit shit on season 1 just due to the simple fact that I guess they prefer the world of guns in season 2.
well, I think because season 2 it follows more closely to the light novel.
Mm.
I think that's the reason why. That's what I've heard. Like I said, if you guys watch SAO season 1, and if you didn't like SAO season 1, please explain that in the comment section why you guys didn't like it. I'd really like to hear your thoughts and why the fan doesn't like season 1 of the anime.
Yeah, I also gave my other thoughts about season 1. Like, I I personally believe to make season 1 a little better, I feel that they should explain all of 25 episodes. I think that was 25 or 24
Yeah,
episodes.
25, 25.
Yeah, 25 episodes of SAO about the 2 years that they spent in Sword Art Online. Like, cause
Well, that's
like,
what I originally thought they were gonna do. The entire
mhm,
first season was just gonna be about sort of online things, but then they kind of bring the Alfheim thing. That's kind of where it was with me. Now, the first part, okay, I liked the first part a lot. The second half of the season, which was about the Alfheim and the fairy stuff, I was like, I'm invested, but not as much invested. It wasn't as good as the first half.
mhm. Then
Um,
again, then again, if they did do the all 25 episodes about the 2 years in Sword Art Online, I wonder how they're gonna be able to pull off Alfheim Online, because I don't think Kirito spent that much time in AOO at that time.
yeah, that's well, really, if we're thinking about it, he doesn't really. He hasn't. We haven't seen a lot of episodes where he spends a lot of time in Alfheim. Like we only get really the back half of the season, and then 2 episodes in season 2 of him in there. And then
Hmm.
that's really it. I haven't seen season 3 yet. I still haven't seen season 3. I'm like 1 episode away from that, but yeah. But like I said, season 1 as a whole, 8 out of 10. There was some things that are some critiques here and there, but overall, I still thought it was a nice introduction where people can watch it, get into it, and like the story. Albeit your differences and stuff like that, it was still good, and I enjoyed it, and I'm glad to have gotten into SAO. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So any other closing thoughts, Denzel?
I just gotta say, like, I'm finally glad I got you to watch this anime after so long. It's a little late, but better late than never.
Little late. Now,
A little late than never.
next week we are going to review season two. I will definitely be done with season two by then. I will definitely be done. If I'm not done by season two by next week, I must have some issues. If I can't watch 2 episodes. Um,
Well, you're gonna love the movie. I'm pretty sure you will.
and I think the week after that we'll review the movie, and then I guess based on I'll watch season three, and we'll talk to see if we'll split it up into some different parts in terms of season three reviews. But yeah. But other than that, that's really it. So we're gonna get out of here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, any other thoughts, Denzel?
Alexis, thanks for having me, and thank you for finally deciding to watch SAO.
No problem. Denzel will actually be on the channel more now because there are certain animes that are actually coming out this summer. Thank goodness they're not being delayed. Denzel might be on there. Trust me, I got a whole slate of animes that I'm ready to review. Like ReZero. I'm definitely reviewing ReZero. Denzel might actually join in on the Fire Force reviews, like the My Hero Academia reviews and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, I can't wait. And yeah, so other than that, you guys in the next video. So one, hit that subscribe button for not only the channel, but the Red Wolf channel. I'll put a link to the description of his channel to hit for the subscribe for Denzel. Explain what you do on your channel, Denzel?
I just do like gameplays of interesting games I think you guys will enjoy. I'm still trying to get Cameron to play Code Vein.
No.
So yeah, that's his answer. So yeah, you guys go and check it out, and I hope you enjoy.
Guys, we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe. And hopefully, whenever you check out this video, whether it's day or night, who knows what you guys are doing. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe. Wear your mask. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
Peace.